You got the film, so it tells you here which side is the non-printable side and which side is the printable side. So in this case is always the matte side. What I do is I put it under the heat press for 10 seconds. There is a gap in here. Is normally I remove one part of the foam and it gives me exactly the right distance. So the reason why I'm doing this is the same as you drying the t-shirt. You're removing the moisture out. All the way up, half down. With the 2260 you don't need to do anything, you just go all the way up because it actually would adjust itself.
Okay.
So the 2260 garment creator, they have one version that is for the t-shirt, the other version is for the DTF. When you click on the film, it would automatically rotate the image. On this one would not do that because it's the previous generation. So what we want to do is, for example, we're going to be using exactly the same file again. Cool. So I double click. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to make this on the size that I want. With the two versions of the software you can do this the same. Normally I would do this on a file and then I'll bring as one, but if you're doing just as a test, you can actually duplicate the file. So he actually duplicated the design. So I'll duplicate that again. I get another one and I duplicate this again and I have another one. Select one of them, flip, 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 and flip. So you needed to reverse this. On the 2260, because you put it on the film, all the images that you loaded in, it will be reversed. Then I just adjust this so we can print this properly. Clicking OK. Now, what we needed to do is on the 2260, you also have dark color t-shirt. The reason why we print on dark color t-shirt is that you need to print C, M, Y, and K plus the white. Because otherwise the black is going to be missing. And another thing that is very important to remember is that you always have reduce the white area. I reduce the white area to 0, because if you don't reduce the white area to 0, the white is going to be smaller than the CMYK. You may have a border that is not going to stick to the print properly. So I'll just leave as is. And everything that you're doing in DTF, you take 50% of the white ink. On the 2260, you can start reducing from 25%, but I go minus 50% is good. I applied a little bit of color, and I also do this. I go into saturation and I add saturation. So the print is always going to be oversaturated. So when you lose a little bit of color to the pressing and to the powder, that kinds of overcompensate. Now, ink order, you needed to put reverse. On the 2260, you don't need to do that because it's automatic. Because what we're doing first is color and then white. Now, with everything that is on a film, you need to remember, if the text is very small, you do unidirectional. If the text is reasonably big, you do bidirectional. In this case, I just want to do unidirectional because I want to have a very sharp image. So what I do is I go into my, where is it? Print direction, unidirectional, and then I just print. Sometimes what is really good to do, if you have aircon or if you have a little bit of a current, air current in the shop or in the office, put some tape. Because the film is very easy to move. Not that we have this problem here, but I just put it anyway. dry for 10 seconds. So I put it on my powder machine, turn it on, release the powder.
Yeah, it just drops it from the top.
Release the powder, release the powder, release the powder, release the powder. Are you ready?
Release the powder.
And if you really want, I'll
Just
do.
jiggle.
Yeah. That's it. No powder whatsoever on the film. Have a look. There is no powder whatsoever on the film. So I don't need to flick this. See, it's only on the film. And there you go. Here. So make sure that you have 140 degrees for 10 seconds. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do this very hot, but I'm gonna leave it cool it down a little bit. 10 seconds, pressure. Release the pressure. See that it was too hot? Instant peel. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna show you when the temperature goes down, you see the difference. But see that it's too hot?
Yeah.
So people turn around and say, why it's not working? Because the press is way too hot.
Yeah.
So you needed to drop the temperature to 140 degrees. Otherwise, you can't do this properly. But it has to be at 140. And, you know, people turn around and say, oh, DTF doesn't work. Because normally what they do is they have an old press that doesn't read the temperature properly. A difference of 5 degrees is a difference in between transferring the print to melting the print. So when you have this done the way that we just did, then you can look in here, there is no residual power around. I did the print properly. I dried the film. I shaken the film properly. I put powder properly. Everything tick. What is the last thing that I needed to do to get this right? This. So, I'm gonna put in here. I need to put baking paper, otherwise this sticks to, yeah. So I keep looking here, 164, still cooling down. So I leave it cool it down because if it doesn't, you'll melt. Okay? 10 seconds. Remember, just put the baking paper so the other part doesn't actually stick to it. So I take this off. We're still a little bit hot, so I just wait just a couple seconds to cool down.
Is it a hot peel or a cold peel?
Instant hot peel, but it's still
Because it's too hot. Yeah.
too hot. Yeah, very hot. See, that was too hot. But have a look, the difference. It's cooling down, but see how much details I get. Okay, still cooling down. Unless it's in the perfect temperature. See that is 145, still going down.
Is he pushing the bottom up?
Yes. Too hot. Very hot. Sometimes what you do is cool it down a little bit. Yeah. Better? It's all about temperature. How cool is that?
The detail's better on doing it this way than it is on doing straight into shirts or anything.
Yeah, but you have the issue that that is not breathable.
Yeah, true.